Activators, we are back with another episode of A Heartbeat. This is MrSir Mpho, and remember, I'm not saying my surname anymore. It's a tongue twister, I understand, so just call me MrSir, it's okay. I'm with my co-host today, who is Masilela. Can you just say hi a bit?
Of course. Hello, everybody. My name is Iyame Masilela, and today we are here at A Heartbeat.
Awesome. Welcome back, Nell. She
Thank
was
you.
with us on the first episode. So she's been around. She's an ancestor now on this podcast. I have two guests, right? One of them is an activator who is very relevant for the theme today, and the other one is an expert guest. So I'm gonna come with a lot of hard questions for you, ma'am. I'm sorry. But let me first introduce the activator, who is Mxolisi Mvubu. You graduated which year in Activator again?
2019.
Perfect. Welcome to the episode.
Thank you.
Awesome. And the guest, who is a social worker with 6 years experience working with persons with physical disabilities. She joined GPAPD in full is Gauteng Provincial Association for Persons with Disabilities in 2019 and has an honors degree in social work. So every time when I see or meet or interact with people who have degrees, matric, honors and masters, I get intimidated because remember, I only dropped that in grade 6, So I think this conversation So this conversation is going to be very intellectual. I'm willing to learn a lot today, and I hope the listeners are also going to learn. Welcome, Dulcie. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. And how are you?
I'm awesome. I think I'm awesome. Are you okay, Nell?
I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. So today's theme is quite touchy, but also we're going to make it relaxed. It's a podcast, guys. Come on. Yeah. So we're going to make it as relaxed as possible, but it's touchy because we're dealing with people who have been, I would say, excluded from the world or from the social environment, or they are not included in a lot of policies in South Africa. But I don't know a lot about that. Dulcie will help us navigate around the inclusion and the exclusions and disadvantages of living with a physical disability, and the advantages. I think there are benefits to everything, but also we have disadvantages to everything. When it comes to infrastructure accessibility, limited opportunities, the positives and the negatives of the laws and policies related to people with disabilities, we might also compare the limitations from one type of physical disability to another. So stay tuned. We're going to delve deeper into this theme today.
And we have a lot to learn, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to start
I look forward to it.
So I want to start with the light question, right? If we were to compare the positives, let's start with the positives. If you live with a particular physical disability, what do you think the positive would be? Anyone can answer this one for me, just from the top of your head. Or I can give it to Mxolisi, I think.
I think the positive, phila disability, physical one, awufole emalayinini, uyafola.
I'm jealous now.
You just skip the line. That's the positive.
I like that one.
Yeah.
There's another one, because I noticed even at stadiums, you get to sit there in the front row. You see?
Front row view.
So it's not a disability, it's a different ability if you have to think about it. Yes. I like that. So if you were to compare yours with others, what would you say the comparison would be? Firstly, you can also introduce what your physical disability is, if you can call it disability.
It is a disability. My physical disability, I'm a paraplegic, wheelchair bound. So, yeah.
What happened? Were you born this way?
No, I was not born like this. I had a car accident in 2010.
10? It's been 15 years.
No, it's been long.
How has it been? Like the first month or the first 2 months after the accident, and then when you got to...
I stayed in hospital for almost the whole year. So the negative part, I did not watch the World Cup. There was a World Cup here in South Africa.
Yeah. 2010.
I did not watch it. I was in hospital.
Were you in school at the time?
No, I was done.
Oh, done with matric?
No, I was done with matric.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I'm just curious to know also, like, what was the impact that it has had on you? Like being in hospital for almost a year and coming out to the world when, like, like you've been inside for almost a year.
It feels like you've been in prison, like everything is new. And maybe people they start to look at you differently because you were able to walk. There are things that you used to do before. Some activities, like I used to be very active, playing soccer.
So readjusting.
readjusting.
It felt like you had a criminal record. You know, when someone is in prison, they come back, they can't find jobs because of criminal or criminal, what do you call it? The criminal record, right?
Yeah,
but in your case, it's not a record, it's just a disability.
It's a disability, but yeah.
That's hectic. Do you remember what happened during the accident? Because I had one recently and I had no idea what happened. I forgot everything.
I do not remember. I was only told in that
this is what happened. So it's rumors to you.
No, it's like a rumor.
Yeah.
That I have to live with it.
Yeah.
So how has it changed your life in terms of your interactions with your family? You probably had a partner at the time, and if they're still around, how do you think?
Obviously, I was still young back then, so
you were singing.
No, I was singing. There was no partner.
And in terms of family or your parents, cousins?
No, they are very supportive. I have a supporting family structure, so everything is good there that side.
Because there's something I learned about people, especially people who are wheelchair bound, right? They have this tendency of wanting to do things by themselves. I don't know if I'm right. The social worker will have to correct me here. But the ones that I know, so even when you offer to push them something, like, no, it's okay and I can push myself. And then I'll have this pity, and which is something they also hate. Would you say you also relate? Like, do you want to do stuff by yourself, or you enjoy that?
I do relate a lot, because there's this process after getting an accident, or when you are in a wheelchair, there's this process that they called rehab. Rehab, they teach you how to do things, because it's like you are starting afresh in Mpho. You have to learn to bath yourself, ususe wheelchair, transfer it to umbhede or to ama bathrooms. So ukujwayela le nto leyo bakufundisa ukuthi ube independent. So nokuzipusha, it's part of an exercise. Kithi uma uhamba nje estradini usiphusha kufana nokuthi uya exercise kanje.
Yes.
Yabo. So mawufuna ukungisiza kumelanga uvela ungiphushe kuqala. Kumele ucele eqala uthi ngicela ukukusiza, awumind. Bese ngiyasho ke mhlambe mangikhathele ngaso isikhathi ngithi hayi ngakujabulela ukuthi ungisize mfethu.
How does it feel though to be pushed?
It's nice.
Because in one we call it mareu, when you're in a car. So don't you feel mareu nyana? Because there's some, when you have legs, you wish you were on a wheelchair, but you don't want the disadvantages of it. You just want the niceness of someone pushing you. So does that feel nice nyana, or to you like
it is nice, especially when you are tired. But if you are not tired, like it's your daily exercise.
Yes.
Then uyamtshela umuntu ukuthi cha kwamanje ngisa exercise mfethu. Right.
Oh, do you have one of those wheelchairs, the remote ones, or are you only using your hands all the time?
No, I'm using my hands all the
time. Oh, nice.
Good. But how long did it take for you to adjust to the whole now change, right? Because you spoke about being in rehab, and now you have to learn to be independent again with a new life. How long did it take for you to adjust mentally, emotionally, and spiritually?
I think namanje umuntu usa-adjust ngeke it's kambe yini ukuhila i-process yempilo yonke leyo ngoba khona izinto ozohlangana nazo ezizokushaya ukuthi kube bengekho kanje mhlambe ngabe kanje but uku-adjusta nje ngisho ukuthi mhlambe unyaka or iminyaka emibili kwaqala ukuba ngcono.
And then abantu around you, how long did it take for them to adjust? Because this is the new Mxolisi and this is how his life is going to be now. Because I can imagine ukuthi now they get affected as well.
No,
right?
kakhulu ba-affected kakhulu. Abanye mhlambe abangigcina kuya ngomuntu. If uyasazi isimo ukuthi ena kanjani mhlambe ubonile ngiqeda ukulimala ngisahamba ngiseseyibhedlela kuba lula labo ukuthi ba-adjust. But abathukayo mhlambe yilabantu abakade bangigcina ngihamba then ahlangane nami manje.
You have to retell the story all over again. How many times have you told the story if you were to count?
Angazi.
Doesn't it get tiring?
Ngeke ngiqamba manga kukhathaza ngoba umuntu angithi naye usuke a-concern ngaleso sikhathi leso. Kusuke kukusha kuye. Ngeke nje uvela umpressure off ukuthi hayi ima kancane mfethu yabo. Uyamchazela. Nakhona kuyadepend ukuthi nakhona ubuza ngayiphi imena. Ngoba khona nabantu abanokubuza ngemena
making fun of you or
You know, just on the note that you shared with us just now, ma'am, about people with disabilities, right? When they are maybe just get out of rehab, right? Or if they're born like that, they want to feel independent.
Yes.
I'll tell you a story. Just this past weekend, I was at a wedding, right? And our driver, I don't know what's the term that we use, but like they have one leg, right?
Amputee.
Yes, so amputee, thank you. So like they use crutches, right, to walk, and they fully functioning like everyone, you know. They drive, they do and you know, when people offered help, they were like, no, I'm good. It's okay. I can take care of this. I was like,
how lazy
that
I am,
is
I would have taken all the
interesting.
help.
I was like, that is so interesting, you know. I think also it's like for them, they don't want to feel like they are infantilized, you know, or feel that they are dependent on other people. I'm assuming that's what it feels like. Yeah.
Ngoba kwesinye isikhathi angithi ungangisiza manje ngijabulele lokukusiza. Uma ungasekho ubani ozongisiza futhi.
So it's a futuristic thinking, right?
So ingakho leyo siyajabulela leyo independence yethu ukuthi siyakwazi ukuyimela, siyakwazi ukuzenzela ezinye izinto. Then ke mase kukhona ezinye izinto ezihluleka ukuzenza. Mhlawumbe ngifuna ukuthatha something ku top shelf, ila ngizocela khona usizo ngithi hayi njengoba neumude kangaka nje ngicela ungithathele nakho phezulu.
So Dulcie, do you think this is a frequent trait that is found in people or persons with physical disabilities? There's independent thinking or processing in their personalities. Do you think like it is found in most of them, or it's just specific individuals and others maybe are lazy, they just wanna be pampered the whole time, based on your experience in your field of expertise?
All right. Mpho, before I answer,
Yes.
the educational person in me.
Okay, yes.
But I call like the few terms.
Okay, yes, please do. Yes.
Because Mxolisi Mvubu spoke about being wheelchair bound.
Okay.
Yes, we don't say wheelchair bound.
Okay.
Wheelchair user. Because when you are saying wheelchair bound, it's like you never get out of the wheelchair. You are forever there.
And sometimes you are in your bed, sometimes
man,
you're on the couch.
I don't blame him, because that was the term that was used before. I get it because of we need to be.
But now it's derogatory.
Yes,
yeah.
With the times.
With the times. So I understand.
Okay,
like we used to say persons living with disability. Now we say persons with disabilities.
But can I ask you a question just before you carry on? What's the distinction that you make between persons living with disabilities or persons with disabilities? Why that shift and that change?
I believe persons with disabilities is just to say, yes, I have a disability. But if you're saying I'm living with it, it's like it yes, there are limitations, you know. It's there. I do have it, but living doesn't sound right in a sense. We prefer persons with disabilities. We do have disability, we acknowledge that. But living, it comes with limitations.
It's like even when you are chilled, you have it and it doesn't affect you in that moment, so you're not living with it.
Yes.
So it only affects you when you have to do a particular thing that requires the ability.
Thank you.
Makes sense.
Thank you. And I also wanted to ask Isne, because I also do awareness campaigns. So for me, it's an opportunity again I want maybe the listeners to understand what is paraplegic.
Yes, I was gonna ask, can you please define this term?
Yes.
Yeah, because grade 6 education doesn't allow me to comprehend.
It's not even about grade 6. If I wasn't in this sector, I wouldn't know as well, you know. Yeah, it's because I believe you were affected spinal cord, ne?
Yeah,
your spinal cord was affected. Mother, he's affected only from the
lower limbs.
The lower limbs.
Yes.
Upper limbs, upper body,
the hands are
he's
functioning.
fine. Because the minute only affected even the upper, we say you are quadriplegic, but it's only the lower limbs.
So it's called paraplegic.
Yes, his disability is
paraplegic. Okay,
yes.
Thank you for the education.
So the difference between para and quadra is in terms of the anatomy of the human structure of the skeleton?
It's because this one, maybe the quadriplegic, maybe the limbs, like maybe the hands are also affected.
Oh, it's
I
like
understand.
4 limbs,
Yes,
so
4
quadra. Okay,
quadras.
okay.
Yes.
Oh, makes sense. Oh,
Yes.
the para is just the 2.
There's the 2.
Oh.
So would it make sense then if it's just the upper body, but like the lower body is functioning properly, and then the upper one is disabled? Would you still say then it's like paraplegic?
I don't think it's
we don't
possible.
usually
It's not
have
possible?
some.
because the
we
minute your
don't-
spine is affected,
it will be
it will
another
be-
disability.
Okay.
Because the spine is connected to the brain, so the
Yeah.
minute it gets affected
Okay,
here, there's no way your legs would work. So, yeah, with my grade 6, I can see that.
Okay.
But back to the question, you were
Yes,
still answering
please.
that question about how frequent do you see this trait
Mhm.
of wanting to be independent
Yes.
from the people with, or
Yes.
people with disabilities? How frequent do you see it in the people you deal with, or your
It's-
clients? Let me call them that.
Yes, it's not frequent. And when we get beneficiaries like within police, we get excited because our life becomes easier,
So it's us who are lazy, basically.
Because the reason I'm a social worker, my job is also to help them, to become independent.
Oh,
So that is why
okay.
high level within police, it becomes easier because almost the work is almost done. But we find those who are maybe they just experienced disability.
Still traumatized.
Yeah, they're still traumatized. Some they are born with it, but still they are far. So you have to work with them. And cases are not the same, Sometimes it's not the client per se, but it's the family members. So you also have to deal with them, educate them, help them accept the situation first, or have a family counseling to help. I mean, for me, I think independence as a social worker, when I look at it with the cases that I've worked with, it starts with counseling. Most of them, they haven't accepted. Yeah, I have this support group where but it's women's support group of persons with disabilities. Most of them, some of them, not most of them, some of them were born with physical disabilities. But when we talk, you realize, well, this person is far from acceptance. So you need to take them through counseling so that they can accept themselves, and then you deal with helping them to be independent, and not to depend on other people and things like that. Because the other thing that's frustrating, like Mxolisi was saying, the other thing that frustrates, I think, is to depend on a person. The next thing, that person is not there, then what's going to happen? Hence, we also have what we call succession plan, with families that when if a mother can pass away today, and a written policy would dependent on the mother, what's going to happen to him? So we need to think ahead. A written policy. So if your mother passed on, what's next?
How are you going to cook?
How are you going to cope? How are you going to cook? How are you going to clean the house? So some they have potential to be independent. Disabilities are not the same.
Yes,
Some are
I wanted to ask.
they are dependent all the time. That one we understand. But such as police, then it's a different thing.
So thank you. So I want to ask you, as someone that works in the psychosocial sector, right?
Yes.
Particularly with people with physical disabilities, right? How long are you with them or helping them as beneficiaries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It depends on the case.
Okay.
Because based on their needs, when we start, maybe we do an intake. You check you do an assessment, check their needs. Others will come for counseling. Others will come for different services like empowerment. They want to do something with their lives, maybe get into skills, because they are tired of staying home. They don't have much to do. Others is a support, maybe a parent has a child with disability. They are also overwhelmed. Remember, if you being a caregiver, 24/7, you are with this child or this person. who cannot do anything for themselves. So others is more of that support. They need that support of a social worker. When you are there doing home visits, sometimes you find them miserable. Will tell you, I didn't sleep, she didn't sleep, and if she doesn't sleep, I cannot sleep, so it's a lot. There are different needs, there's a lot of needs around that, and what else? But for now, that's what I can think of.
Okay, so like, when do you know that, okay, this person has gotten enough support from me as a social worker? When do you know that, okay, now I can release them and let them go?
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I'll use Mxolisi.
Sure.
If he comes to me, my grant is closed, disability grant, they closed it, and then I've applied, and then I did not have help. I did not get help. I might do some intervention. But after that, Mxolisi does not need me. I don't need. He's an independent person. After that, I'll close the file. No, you are sorted. Whether we were successful or not, but we tried. You are sorted then, because that was the only thing that brought Mxolisi to the office. But cases like we monitor, especially persons with disabilities who have a severe disability. Like there's one that's called cerebral palsy. They are not the same, but there's a severe one. That one, whether you are a child or older person, not older person in terms of pension, but adults, we always keep them, because there's a possibility that a person can be neglected, can be abused by family members. So we for us, we like their eye kind of a thing. We need to always pop in to check if this person is taken care properly, not abused, not neglected, and things like that. Their needs are met, because we have challenge in the society where grant is misused, whether care dependency or disability grant, and mostly by members of the family. Then the needs of our clients are not met. We have children who do not go to school because the parents, they don't think because this child has a disability should go to school. They have to go to school.
And that's
a lot.
And that's the exclusion that you were talking about, right?
Yes.
In social settings, so like not having a job or not being afforded the opportunity to work because you're a person, you're PWD. Not having access to public transport. Not having access to what else? What did you? Schools.
Yes.
Schools, right?
Upstairs if there are no lifts and.
Because they are excluded. Persons with disabilities are excluded. For instance, when you talk about school, it's not every parent that doesn't want to take their child to school. Others, they do want to, but I'll give you an example. I'm working in Orange Farm, and then Orange Farm is far from special schools. We have special schools in Johannesburg, Soweto, so transport money only to go to Soweto or to whatever Johannesburg, let's say it's 1,500 per month. That child gets a grant, 2002, 2003. So already we've taken how much? 1,500 for transport. Maybe that child uses nappies. How much are the nappies? The food, and the parent is not working. So for them already, a family is a source of income, that grant, and we are not saying they cannot use it, because if a child has to eat, a mother has to eat as well, but then if we are going to say grant there is specifically for a child, still it doesn't meet their needs. Because
it's not enough, basically.
It's not enough, So just that fell, and some parents cannot afford to take them to special schools. I understand. So in a way, it's exclusion because they cannot afford. When you look at children go mainstream school, the schools are many. In the Orange family, there are so many mainstream schools. So a child just walk to school. So a child with disability, what do we say about them?
They are scattered.
So they are excluded already.
Sure.
So now you mentioned something about families also needing counseling. And you said if you see that they're not coping with the change or the readjustment of the current life, how do you spot the symptoms or the signs in the family members that, okay, this one is not ready to accept the situations, maybe they need help? Like, what do you look at before you get to the conclusion of the diagnosis?
Oh, okay. I wouldn't say it's a diagnosis per se, but when you do an intake, you obviously listen to their needs. And then sometimes you don't pick it up immediately. But as you go on with the case, their behavior and whatever that they say or their emotions, for instance, I had this client, all of a sudden the mother, all of a sudden she was just overwhelmed when I was talking to her, and then she started talking, I didn't sleep, whatnot. Then as we started with the conversation, then it got to the point where I realized she hasn't accepted that she hasn't, because she uttered to say, you know what, she's here all the time, 24/7, I cannot go anywhere. You understand? And for me, it's a safe space, it's a safe space, at least she can say her mind,
Oh, yes, without being judged.
Without being judged, because I'm not there to judge, and for me to help them is for them to be open, and by be true to themselves. Then that's how I get to understand, this child is 18 or 19, but she still hasn't accepted, So meaning we have to go through those emotions and help them.
So the emotions mostly are strong, ne? Like in your experiences.
They are very.
How often do they cry?
Sure. I think it will depend on the session.
Okay.
It will depend on
I can
the
see a
session.
mother or an aunt crying there, but then at home they're probably putting up this facade of being strong.
Of course.
So I wonder how emotional it can get in there.
They have to, for the sake of the people that they take care of, they have to put that facade. But at least when they are with you, when they are with me, they are able to
let it out. So it's better to see a psychologist or a social worker when you're going through it. Because bottling up, you remember, if something is bottled to a certain degree, it can get cold.
Exactly.
If it's bottled, it can get cold, and then you'll never know where it's gonna blow and who is gonna affect. So I think it's very recommended for people to go and seek external help, a safe space to cry and just let it all out. But now, as much as the family members are also struggling with the acceptance, I think even the people who are experiencing it themselves, who are in the situation, are also struggling with the readjustment. As much as it's a physical limitation, I think it's also an emotional path as well. So I want to ask you first before I go back to you, right? Emotionally, how was the path for you? Besides the physical aspects of things, or okay, now I have to be on a wheelchair, now I can't do this and this, that I get. But emotionally, how was it for you to say, I no longer can't do this, but now I have to start living like this. This that I aspired to become, or this that I aspired to have, I can no longer get. Now I have to redirect my passions or my goals or my dreams. How was it emotionally for you?
Kwangekho lula mfethu. Mangicabanga nje ukuthi na every morning kwakumele kuyonekwa imiqamelo ngokuthi bengikhala njalo. Kodwa ke hayi. With time ke ayikho into engadluli. Ngokuthi amaphupho vele mawunawo. Ngoba ekuqaleni ngangifundele uparamedic nokuba firefighter. So zonke lezo zinto lezo zifuna ukuthi even though nazi certificates zakhona, ama certificate wakhona ngeke sawasebenzisa. So uyazi
you
ukuthi
already had the certificates. So you have to restart now.
Kumele uqale kabusha manje.
So it's like being reborn.
Ukuzalwa
born again.
Yazini. uJesu nje ngangithatha ku uba born again, we are readjust again. It's okay. Since ngeke ngisakwazi ukusebenzisa umzimba physically, yini engayenza bese ubheka ama option, uhambe futhi uyofundela lezo zinto lezo ongakwazi ukuzenza izodinga izandla nomqondo kuphela.
So now the topic of purpose versus passion now no longer applies, because if you have passion or purpose in the aspect or in the field of wanting to drive people who are challenged or who have been in accidents, like if you wanted to be a paramedic, it means you wanted to be the help that you got basically. But it happened before you got the help. So now you can't assist those people, and because it was your passion, you have to redirect that passion into something else. How did you navigate that internal change of changing your passion and purpose into something else, into another career field?
Kwangekho lula mfethu. Kwangekho lula nje ukuthi ukukhuluma nawo abantu abafana nawo sisi uDulcie ama-social worker bese niyaqala instruction impilo ukuthi okay manje sekanje noma kuthi uyathanda ngekusakwazi ukusiza kule nto le yini ongayenza manje basuggesta ke abanye ukuthi ngibuyele esikolweni ngenze lokho engakwenza then ngenze lokho engakwenza ukuthi ngizokwazi futhi ukuthi mase kufika ithuba lomsebenzi ngikwazi ukusebenza kulezo zinto lezo.
So they were facilitating the process basically for you, but you had to also have the internal thinking and also retrospections and introspections and find yourself again. It must have been
so
a very
out of
deep
curiosity,
path.
what did you study after that? What did you go to school for?
Manje.
Yeah.
Oh no, ngenza nje i-business administration ngathola i-diploma yakhona. Then ngenza ne-bookkeeping. So izinto ama-qualifications enginawo manje. I-diploma office and business administration. Then ne-bookkeeping i-senior certificate yakhona. Into enginayo then manje ngiqalela phansi futhi ngibhizi nge-taxation.
Oh, you're still studying again?
I'm not sure.
You love books, eh?
I
wish I loved books like you. Maybe I would have matric. So are you working right now?
No.
In that, or you still studying, pushing?
No, ngiyafuna umsebenzi indaba yazi phela kuse South Africa la.
So imagine in an low economical state like South Africa, where even people without disabilities are struggling, it must be difficult for you now.
Kunzima kakhulu.
So it's like 10 times more difficult.
Ngoba namakhampani amaningi kumele nawacabanga ukuthi angakhosta kanjani leso workspace yabo.
Yes.
Kumele azi ukuthi ku wheelchair friendly, mhlambe i-desk lakho zoba sharp nama restrooms nokuthi nje uyakwazi
even at school. Yes.
Yonke indawo ngoba ngiyakhumbula nakhathi ngisaqala nje eDamelini nge-first year yami ngathi mangifika nge-first week kwakunama e-days ama steps.
There were steps.
No
ramps.
So kwakumele ngikhulume ne-management yakhona ukuthi ngenzele i-ramp
khona
ngizokwazi ukuthi ngibe independent ukuthi ngikwazi.
And eventually they changed and they managed to build them.
Second or third week baqala bayenza then after that.
Man, that's an achievement. So you're the changing Damelin right now. They should put your face on their billboards. No, they should. I'm gonna talk to them.
Do it just for yourself, but other people as well. That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
So in your experience, when it comes to the story like this one, how many other institutions are you familiar with that don't accommodate persons with disabilities?
There are many. Like I was sharing with him earlier, where we do awareness and sensitization at schools. Many a times, and when we get there, there's no ramp, and then we have to go maybe to have an awareness with children, and my clients, we don't know how they are going to get there, maybe in the hall or wherever, because there are stairs or something like that, but there are no ramps. And the sad thing, like he was saying, if you want to help me, you have to ask me first if I need help. So the other thing, when we get there and then they decide, okay, let's lift them up with their wheelchairs. How do you think they feel?
Yeah.
And how safe do they feel in your hands?
Exactly.
I mean, every day the person is picking you up. What if I fall?
Even my dignity, man. I understand that. So for them, it's not right, So those are the challenges. Physical barrier in most places, it's a challenge. So
do you think there are incentives for companies that accommodate them? And let's say if they don't accommodate them, do you think there are penalties for it as well in terms of the law and the policies?
Because if there were, people would be doing the right thing. So I remember I had a client, he has cerebral palsy. The aunt took the client to the clinic. So when they got there, I could sometimes say because
when you say several?
Cerebral palsy.
Okay, what is
CP.
it? Some of us with grade 6. Yes, we have to.
It's one of the disabilities. This child is dependent on a caregiver, whether aunt or mother. They cannot do anything.
So even their hands don't work.
They can work sometimes, but then their whole body in jail.
Or it's just almost like a deformation. I don't know if it's the right word. Like, it's like someone, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah,
into
but
words.
they cannot take
not
care
like,
of themselves.
it's not like the hand can't move, but maybe it's not a proper movement.
Yes,
Okay,
not a
okay,
proper
okay,
movement.
okay,
Yes. So they went to the clinic, ne?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, go clinic they use container, ne? As an extension. No, there's a building. But where they had to go is a container. Okay. And this child is in a buggy. We call them buggies. It's type of a wheelchair for persons, children with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
So
cerebral
palsy. Just say CP.
Pulse. Okay, yes.
CP is the easiest.
CP, okay. Yeah. I want to be able to say it in the future. I'm like, I know someone with a cerebral palsy.
And the accent.
Yeah, I have to make sure that now I spoke with a social worker. I know these things now.
So now this child, obviously they have to take the child into the container. I understand, but there's no one who's helping. And the aunt can't pick up the bag. The baggy is heavy. Yes, so imagine. So how are they going to give the services? So it ended up coming to me, and literally I had to have a meeting with the staff to say, but how? It's not right. Yeah, how do you give services to such people?
And I understand.
Yeah, you are not accommodating them. So meaning, are they going to live without services? So we are excluding them. If they cannot get services, then meaning we are excluding. No, ma'am. That day is just that the aunt didn't handle it well. So, because of frustration. I understand them. I work with them, So they were trying to defend themselves. I understand her behavior. And I'm not saying it's a good behavior. Yeah. But let's not focus more on the behavior.
Yes.
Let's deal with the issue.
The situation at hand.
Exactly. The root cause, So it's things like that we deal with as well. We have to fight for them. We have to advocate. We have to lobby for them. And just a minute. I actually wanted to give an example, so I forgot. Then it came back. Okay. So I'm saying before I forget.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of this example that my husband gave. They had a staff member who was working in their company. So this staff member, when he joined the company, he was saying, sometimes they have a problem. If we hire you, we must, reasonable accommodation. We must accommodate you, which is a challenge. So I think they wanted to do the right thing, but they did not accommodate. They didn't even ask, how are we going to accommodate you? So firstly, he went to the canteen, and there's this, what do you call it? Shop on this, is it 10 stars? What? That you use when you get inside.
Yeah, the thing at the door.
Okay.
Yeah, I always call it the thing at the door. but I get it. It rolls.
Yes,
it rolls.
Yes.
I forgot the name.
So they have that thing.
And that one
and
is
for
very
the person with this, who's using wheelchair,
you can't pass through there.
So you know what they said? He was explaining to me. So they were offering. No, okay. Imagine these people are there at the back. No, we have chicken. We have what? What do you want? No.
So you don't get to choose for yourself. You can't even check the expiry date.
Right. So this guy said, no, you are going to take this thing out. Like Mxolisi, those vocal ones.
Yes,
you are going to take this thing out. I don't know when, but until then it means, and then the other thing, their clocking system was a bit higher. For a wheelchair user, he couldn't, so they had to adjust to. So it things like that, you have to make
small
sure.
Things that we hardly ever think about.
Yes.
Even things at the top shelf there as well. Yeah, no. Now when I go to shops, I'm gonna start shouting. Like, man, what about someone in a wheelchair? Come on. You wanted to ask.
I wanna find out from you, right? For someone that works in this field, right? Especially with their families and they them themselves, people with disabilities, right? What impact does it have on you? because now we spoke about the impact that it has on PWDs. We spoke about the impact that it has on their families. But for you that gives the support, what impact does it have on you?
Oh,
You're
believe me, we are affected.
Yeah.
I was sharing with one of my colleagues, was it yesterday? Yes. I was saying, in social work setup, we are supposed to have debriefings, but because of lack of resources, we don't usually get such services. Because sometimes the accurate cases are not the same. Sometimes there will be this case, so you are overwhelmed. When I was new, literally I wouldn't sleep. I'll be
especially
crying.
the early times, like when you're still new in the profession.
Exactly. It takes time for you to adjust. But even now I get affected, but not as before. But believe me, emotionally, it affects you. Even sometimes financially, because we do home visit. We are at the grassroots.
You're using your pocket money.
Not really, and I'm not supposed to. Okay. But I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I
was
go.
Gonna fight.
No, I'm not supposed to do that because if I do that, I'm teaching my clients that when I come with something, and that's not my job. I understand that. For me, it's more of an empowerment. But I'll give you an example. I get to this client. This client does not get a disability grant because there are issues around. This person does not have food, they have nothing. They will tell you, I haven't bathed for 2 days because I don't have a soap. What do you do? As a human being, not as a social worker, as a human being. Well, I understand. That's how much we are affected. So I'm not supposed to take money out of my pocket. But I'm throwing it out there. If you are a human being, what would you do?
Have you been in that situation before?
Several times.
It's a lot.
So what do you do?
Can I please not say? Okay. You want me to lose my job?
Don't implicate yourself. Okay, don't implicate yourself. She didn't do anything illegal.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, she reported to the right authorities.
Yes. No, I tried my best to get food parcels. Because otherwise the other thing as social workers, we are trained for if there's a situation, we must be resourceful. For instance, in my community that I work with, hence when you are new in a community, learn your community. So I would know there's Meals on Wheels there. So every day they can get a plate of food. So I will know how to refer. I understand to say, then if I'm able to connect maybe with some sponsors, I will say, maybe send a proposal to say, I have 5 clients that are in need. Is it possible that I get food parcels? But at the end of the day, you need to empower them. Because they won't live, but they cannot wait for food parcels. Learner, you don't know when you're gonna get the food parcels.
So you just facilitate the process in a way, basically. That sounds creative, which means to be a social worker, it's not just the work in itself, but you also have to be an entrepreneur.
A lot. That is how you wear many hats. You can be an educator today. You are going to educate children about disability, and then the next thing you are a counselor. The next thing you are an enabler. You are helping them with this. The next thing you are a broker between your support group members and maybe company. Help them get what you call. Maybe do skills and they get funding. So being a social worker, you are almost...
It's literally that social work.
Yes.
Literally.
Jack of all trades.
Love that.
So if you were to rank the difficulties that persons with disabilities face every day, if you first maybe rank the disabilities themselves, maybe the top 3 most challenging disabilities, and then maybe also the top 3 things that they deal with on their daily basis, how would you rank them? If you were to list and rank, maybe top 3.
Okay.
If it's safe for you to do.
I don't know about ranking.
Rank the problems, not the disabilities.
They're gonna
go for the challenges. Because I'm also thinking, So maybe the challenges. If you rank the challenges.
Okay, I think in terms of challenges, those who are quadriplegic. Because they depend on their caregivers, things like that. So for them to do whatever, they're dependent, just like persons
Even eating.
Yes, you see. Even cerebral palsy, they're almost similar. Affected. Yeah. So they are more challenged in terms of independence, you know. But like I said, cerebral palsy, they are not affected the same. I have a client who has cerebral palsy, but he's learned. And then it's just that it's only one hand that is affected, and then the muscles, leg muscles that are affected. Both legs, their muscles are affected. So for him, it's quite different from someone who has severe cerebral palsy. You know,
both hands.
You know. So I think the main challenge will be dependence, I would say, because most of and those who have stroke. Because
so it's a disability as well in
stroke.
A way.
Yes, it is. Because remember your side, one side most of the time it gets affected. Yes. Your hand, your leg, and sometimes your speech. You cannot. It depends. You know. Yeah. So most mothers, like in my support group, most women have stroke. They had stroke.
So it affects women more than it affects men?
No, not really. Okay. In fact, in my caseload, I have more men than...
then I'm not safe.
No, you are not. You are not safe. Because I tell Lona, you don't talk. You bottle things up.
No, I never looked at I'm going to start talking. I've never thought of it like that. Saying. No.
But it also goes with health as well, that your diet and things like that. So women who have stroke, they were used to doing things in their house, washing, cooking. So as they do go for physiotherapy, but at the end of the day, some of them, the other hand, can't work at all. So you have to depend on somebody to say, hey, today I feel like it. I remember this other client was saying, yesterday I felt like eating pap and my kids didn't want to cook pap. Because I cannot use I understand. You cannot use this other hand to balance the pot. I understand. So it's things like that. So it all goes to independence.
So which means you have to get used to compromising a lot when you are physically limited to do certain stuff for yourself and you rely on other people. So mostly, how often do you compromise in your experience with a lot of decisions that you have to do or make, every day? Where you have to let go, right? This one I have to just let go.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think I compromise a lot when it comes to maybe activities. Okay. There are activities that I know I physically cannot do. Let's say maybe I'm going out with friends. If they wanna go and do rock climbing, I know I'm gonna be excluded and that. Right. So I would rather choose maybe where socially bowling or something else, something that I can do.
You're making me appreciate certain activities that I don't like myself. Now I'm like, someone else wants to do this.
Yeah.
Like going hiking, the youth of these days, we like to go hiking. I know I cannot do that.
Yeah. But I don't like hiking. Eh?
But some do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now you're making me, I'm going to question the things that I like now. I'm like,
just be appreciative of them.
Yeah, right? Okay, if someone says, let's go hiking, I'm like, because I can't, let me just do it. Because someone else wishes they could.
Yeah, I have to compromise. I have to choose the places that can accommodate me. Even to some event, knowing I have to consult first, ask them whether is it wheelchair friendly, can I be well accommodated there.
So you have to conduct the research before
I cannot just freestyle and go to places.
Is that mentally tiring for you? Or you've got to be used to it?
No, it's my life.
So you're a researcher now. Because imagine every day I have to conduct the research before I do something. It's tiring in school. Now you have to do it in your life.
I have to do it in my life every day.
Yeah.
So, and now it actually shows me that people who don't want to compromise or are not empathetic enough to compromise certain things in life to accommodate the next person, they are more selfish than a person with a disability, if you think about it. Because now if every day you're compromising, it means every day you're accommodating a particular institution. Instead of them accommodating you, are the one just accommodating them by not being there. If you, let's say you wanted to cook today, but you're like, I can't cook. So you're compromising that activity and then you're giving space for someone else too. So you're always compromising.
Always.
Don't you sometimes feel owed by people that you compromise?
No,
for?
I do not.
You're like, I didn't do this. I didn't do this for you. I didn't do this for you. Now you have to do this. You've never been in that circumstance with your close associates.
No, I try not to. Even if sometimes I feel like that, but I try to
just let go.
To let go and just be accommodative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you detox from the mental drainage of those decisions? Like every day, because if you have to let go, you just bottle up a bit, and you just, for the sake of peace, sometimes I figured. How do you deal with it internally every day to make sure that you move on from it and then you focus on the next activity or task at hand or life? What do you do? I wanna understand your thinking process. Maybe I can use it for other problems in my life as well.
Man, it's not to dwell on it. I think once you focus on a thing, you are making it an issue.
Yeah.
But if you just do I know you have to deal with it. But sometimes there's izinto noma kuthiwa uyadila nazo ngeke isize ngalutho.
They're just out of our control.
Yeah.
So you have basically you're an expert of letting go.
Hence
I said, having a client like him, it will make life easier because like
others are struggling with the same things.
Because it's very important, because most of them are struggling
with it
and they have anger issues.
Because I'm an overthinker, so imagine
they are misunderstood. They feel excluded. Imagine now you have friends you love and you want to spend quality time with them,
and they choose high key. That is,
I understand. We don't handle issues the same. They end up having a lot of emotions around that. Hence, I'm saying and then I think I get Haratswan.
Yes, he's dealing with it better than a lot. And does it change your social cycle as well? Because if you had friends and then now after the accident you realize they are not as accommodative or not as inclusive, doesn't it affect the way you would relate with them, and maybe you're probably gonna change friends and start going for those who are more accommodative?
It affects kakhulu lonto leyo ngoba nabo mhlambe baye-enjoya i-company yakho, but now khona ama-activity abafuna ukwenza, but bayazi ukuthi manje kambe sihamba noMxolisi ngekakwazi ukuyenza lento leyo, so nabo ubaforce ukuthi ba-compromise.
So you feel like a burden.
Yeah, sometimes ezinye izinto uyabayekela ukuthi no ngayi-enjoya nodwa lento leyo, mhlawumbe abanye bazofila bad ngaleyo nto leyo. So uyabona ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi but kodwa
so it's both ways sometimes.
Ukukhuluma nje ngayo ukuthi hayi bafethu akumelanga nifile bad, ezinye izinto khona izinto ekumele nizi-enjoye nodwa, khona nami engingazi-enjoya nani. Yabo.
Conversation heals everything. Just like how you say it, just like having that conversation that don't feel bad if I'm not included in this activity, or I feel bad when just having that conversation. I think just makes things easier, right?
So do you think friends also need help then? Because if let's say I have a friend like Mxolisi, and I don't know how to deal with this. Because every time, maybe let's say I'm a very empathetic person. Now I'm changing my life around him. Should I also come and consult with a psychologist or a social worker to see how I can maneuver around the PT that I have and to maneuver around his independence as well?
Because at the end of the day, you are not allowed, sorry. You don't have to feel pity for him. It's their new life.
Yes.
So I understand.
Okay.
So we just have to help you. I know it's natural to feel pity for people, but we have to help you understand. No, this is the new life, and communication is very important. Especially in Africans. We struggle with communication, myself included. I'm a social worker, Mara. Let na it go konenyaga in my I still struggle. I'm empowered. I know what to do, Mara. Sometimes you struggle because of personalities. I get when you deal with family members, there also you have to consider personalities. Honor Ghana and the temperaments. Honor Ghana and I must find them right for me to talk to them. So communication is very important. And we don't talk a lot. Gadi issues. Hence, it's important to have a mediator. Can be a psychologist or a social worker to help you. to understand one another. It's better when somebody mediates, because sometimes the conversation doesn't go well as you maybe anticipated or as you wanted it to go.
So now I want to go to the lighter part of the conversation, right? Back to the benefits and the glooms of this. I would call it as a circumstance, right? If you were to go back to maybe a situation or a moment where you are like, okay, just for this moment, I'm glad I'm on a wheelchair. Which moments would you go back to? Where you're like, as much as it's difficult, you are limited and everything, but there are benefits, like you said, when it comes to not waiting in a queue. But I want maybe a bigger moment than a queue. Have you been in those circumstances or situations where you're like, okay, because I'm a wheelchair, I'm going to take an advantage, and I'm like, yes, at least I'm on a wheelchair. Have you been in those situations before?
Maybe kuma stadiums, uhlala ku front rows.
You get to meet the celebrities or the soccer players themselves.
Mhlambe nje kungaba ilawo ama benefit lawa ambalwa kodwa hayi.
But it's not a lot, ne?
Nah, kusuka ama benefits ongawajabulela kangako nje. It's just nje. Nah.
So there are not a lot of benefits from this, ne? So if I want to consider being on a wheelchair, I'm losing out.
Zama nje ukuthi ungabi uyo mawunkhona.
Okay, I have to rethink that decision.
Yeah, you'll feel more excluded.
So basically, we can conclude that there are more disadvantages than advantages. So if you were to rank it on a hierarchy, we can say, because people always say women are at the bottom of the hierarchy when it comes to opportunities and inclusivity and even the LGBT community, they always say, no, we are actually under the women. But now we can say persons with disabilities are at the bottom. They should be louder than everyone else. Is it safe to say that?
Yes. But most people will say, I will say those who are lazy, because in a society, it's not every one of us who wants to work.
We have different experiences.
Yeah. So those who are lazy will sometimes say, hey, if I had a disability, at least I'll be getting SASSA grant.
Hey, that's just 2 point something.
I understand. But it's the mentality of people.
But when you're getting nothing, it makes sense to think like that. It makes sense to
them,
I want to, just before we close, right, I want to ask you, right, if you can share with, people who are listening, right, maybe contact details or, just information that you can share with them, if they have someone, in their family or friends or circle that are, PWDs, who to reach out to, where to go, if they need help and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, because I'm based in Gauteng Provincial Association for Persons with Disabilities.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Yes.
Yeah, we do have offices. Our head office go Fortsbeck. Contact number is 01.
Fortsbeck in Johannesburg, right? Gauteng. Okay.
Yes,
for someone listening in Cape Town.
Yes. Oh yes. But then the name says it all. Gauteng Provincial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grade
But
6.
I thank you for that, because some people still they might not understand.
Grade 6. Some of them are like me.
Okay. Yeah. We our head office. Go Fortsbeck, Johannesburg. Contact number 011-838-3012. 011-838-3012. Okay. And then at head office we have 3 social workers. It's 1 social worker, 2 social auxiliary worker, 1 social worker works go Enadale. Or render services to go Enadale.
Is it in Gauteng as well?
Yes, and surrounding areas. 1 go Soweto.
Gauteng,
yes, still Gauteng.
And everyone knows this one.
And the other one, Rivali, the one that I'm with now, I was Noctula, Rivali and surrounding areas. I'm in Orange Farm. We have a Sebokeng office, rendering service Koval. And then we have Tembisa office as well. And then Tshwane, Pretoria.
Okay.
Yes, that's
same
how
number for all the offices.
That's the head office.
Redirect.
So if they phone the head office,
they can redirect them.
Yes, they redirect their contact number.
So what do they help with? Like, let's say if someone wants to call, but the questions they have to ask, or what is it that they have to go through before they can contact, so that you get calls from relevant people?
Okay. Our services, we render social work services.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Only social work services to persons with physical disability, because there are different kinds of disabilities. We have mental disability, we have people that are blind. Some people say, but a blind person is a physical disability. I understand, but the fundings when it comes from government are not the same. So we have to refer them to blind SA. Those who are deaf, we have deaf SAR, you refer them to, so disabilities are different.
But they offer services for all of them.
But we focus more on physical disability.
It says it, the P is there.
Yes. I was just trying to differentiate, because most of the time when I do awarenesses, I have to emphasize that I only render services to persons with physical disability. But because we are limited in terms of services, when they come to the office, I'm not saying, no, I can't help. I'm a social worker. I have to get them help. I have to refer them properly. Sometimes it's even difficult to refer. For instance, in Orange Farm, people who have hearing impairment or deaf people, they don't have services. So I have to refer them to Braamfontein.
Yeah, and that's fine.
You see how difficult it is. So it's things like
that. I can see we learned a lot today.
Learned a lot.
If I was disabled, I was going to get help today, to be honest. And then Activate actually is also working on launching a campaign related to this, but more information maybe is probably going to come out in the next episode. So they have to stay tuned for more information, for more dialogues, and they have to also listen to the other episodes. I don't know if you want to say something before we close.
I want to say just one thing that, I think that we need to differentiate between having pity for PWDs and compassion. Know which one it is. So pity for me is just feeling sad and bad for them. And compassion is just, seeing yourself in their shoes and accommodating them. I think that's what I would like to, the last thing I would like to share with, people who are tuning in here, and maybe we can all share just like one thing that we'd like to leave the conversation with.
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. Even if you say bye, it's okay.
For me, I would say, because I work with persons with disabilities a lot, respect for me. And not just to community members, professionals as well.
Because everyone.
To everyone. We need to respect persons with disabilities and let's not impose on them. Let's listen to them. Let's ask questions.
Let's not assume on their behalf.
Let's not assume.
Wow.
Thank you.
Mxolisi, any last words for just this episode? Because I think you might come back again in the future.
Into engayisho nje ukuthi siyabonga ukuthi nekwazi include thina abantu abanama disabilities, ngokuthi esikhathi esiningi ihlale sibekele emuva nesicabangela ukuthi nasicabanga ukuthi sofila kanjani yabo. Into engayisho nje ukuthi nothing about us without us.
You're part of us.
Yes.
I like that. I think there's no need for me to say any last words. That just sums it up. Otherwise, this is a heartbeat. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. It's a
There was a lot to be said.